Thank you for watching. In this video, I'm just going to give shout outs for the supporters of this channel, of this show. If you support this show, if you support this channel, you don't just buy a t-shirt such as this one, but that is a way you can show support for the show by buying a t-shirt at my Teespring. You can click that notification bell. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm going to read a list right now. It's 2 pages long. Wow. This list of supporters and just Twitter followers. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm going to read your name, as long as I've noticed you've at least liked one of my tweets. So if you follow me on Twitter and you haven't liked my tweets for 1,000 years, you might not be on the list. If you're not on the list, just tweet me. Just send me a tweet. @Rasmus is my Twitter. Send me a tweet and I guarantee you, you will get on the list. Or buy a t-shirt. You will get on the list. I'm not going to show your full name unless your full name is on your Twitter and you proudly display it. I'm going to show Twitter names, Twitter handles, nicknames. If I do share your name, it'll be your first name and your last initial. I'm never going to be giving out personal information. But I do have the Patreon patrons. If you're a Patreon, past, present, you are on this list. Whether you gave me $1 and then never Patreon dollared me ever again, that's fine. I'm very appreciative of that $1. You're on the list. And I've said in the past, if you become a Patreon patron, you will get a discount on my future book that I'm going to release in the future. I'll share that link privately with my Patreon patrons in the future, but I'm also creating 3 booklets, and I'll give a discount for those 3 booklets as well. I'll probably sell them as a trilogy, and I'm also going to sell them individually. I'm still working on them. You know, people say, how come you're not sitting in front of the screen, or how come you're not filming 24/7? I have a regular job, and it pays the regular bills. And most definitely I would prefer to be a millionaire that had a nice apartment and a nice studio where just 24/7 I could crank out 7 videos a week, 5 videos a week, 3 videos a week. Last week I cranked out like 3 or 4 or something. It was a lot for me. A lot of production time goes into these videos, but let us give the shout outs right now using this ultraviolet, maybe not the best choice for a flashlight. So I hear Elisa isn't feeling too well. You know, this video is permanent to a certain extent, and Elisa's not going to be sick in the future. But get well, Elisa. Matt wanted me to send this get well soon. I hope you get well. Everything's going to be fine. There are flus and colds going around. I don't know what particular ailment you're suffering with, but you're going to get over it. Everything's going to be fine. So shout out to Elisa and shout out to Matt, who sends that message. And I'm going to shout out everyone that follows me on Twitter, that clicks like. I'm going to shout out all my Patreon patrons. Let's start with the Patreon patrons real quick. The Patreon patrons. I call them the Patreon 13 because there have only been 13 Patreons on my Patreon. Patreon.com/Rasmus. Now, it's fine. I would like to have more. I don't have 13 currently. That's the total number who have ever become a Patreon patron. You're permanently in the list. I'm going to start with the very first Patreon patron I ever had. Number 1, Maurice H. Thank you very much. I'm very appreciative, Maurice H., for all you have done to help this channel grow. Michael C., Ryan C., Anonymous, Brandon Young, Diane Lapierre, Michael G., Joshua S., Angela A., Russell F., Devin L.R., Kimberly O., and Nicholas M. And the only reason I mention Diane and Brandon by their last name. It's because their Twitter has their last name on there, and I'm also going to be mentioning their Twitter later on. But the Patreon 13, thank you very much for the support. Very greatly appreciated. Very greatly appreciated. So let's start off. We have Young Dummy at The Wicked 7. We have Nerd Stuff at NerdStuff1138. Young Dummy, The Wicked 7, greatly appreciate all you've done for the channel. He's a big fan of UFOs. So if you see UFO videos in the future, Young Dummy, The Wicked 7, he wants me to make more UFO videos. I will try to make them, but if I haven't seen a UFO lately, and I haven't seen any UFO news, see, I'm not the biggest UFO guy. I did have a few UFO sightings in the 90s, but I never saw them ever again. Proving I'm not UFO crazy, because if I was UFO crazy, I'd see them all the time, all over the place, always. Proving there were real incidents in the 90s. Never saw them again. I moved away from that area, proving those UFOs are native to that area. Okay, Nerd Stuff 1138. He made a video referencing my John Teeter investigation, and he follows me on Twitter. So very appreciated of that. Nick at Relimksin. I can't spell that. Nick changes his Twitter handle all the time. Or he changes his Twitter name all the time. So I'm just going to call him Nick. Thank you, Nick, for liking all my tweets and messaging me a million times. Very appreciated. You comment and you support the channel. Very thankful for that. We have Nikki at dammit_Nikki_. Very supportive of the channel. Likes a lot of things. Comments all the time. Obviously, I would like to have more of that. People just commenting, supportive. We have Nikki, another Nikki, Enlightened Nikki at Aligning Stars. That's her Twitter handle, Aligning Stars. Thank you for supporting this channel, my Twitter. We have Matt at YTTAMFisk. We have Seabiscuit at Not Really a Biscuit. Thank you for the support. We have Crystal at Crystal160268081. Thank you for the support. We have Lotto Money. Lotto Money is a rapper. He sent me a message about Corners of Rooms. Very appreciated. Anyone that sends me these tips, Corners of Rooms. You know, I deleted my Facebook. I got a couple Corners of Rooms messages on Facebook. I did screenshot them, but I deleted my John Rasmus Facebook. And I'll tell you why. It wasn't working. You have to pretty much pay for promotion for people to see it. It's just a big fat advertising thing going on. I don't want to touch that. I'm not a Facebook guy. People assumed I was on Facebook, so they only communicated with me on Facebook. Just to show I'm not on Facebook, I just deleted it. I don't need it. Go onto my Twitter, twitter.com/Rasmus, or my email, rasmus@gmail.com. Those are the two #1 ways to contact me. All right, Lotto Money. He's a rapper. He's a cool dude at Lotto Money _. We have Brandon Young at BrandonYoung82. Thank you for the support. Brandon has helped this channel for a long time. The UDIC, the Ultimate Dragons Internet Chapter on Twitter at Ultimate Dragons. We have Kurt at Curtis7676. Kurt McDirt, I believe his Twitter name is. Thank you, Kurt, for the support. I think Kurt mentioned, something about collaboration. I'm open to collaborating with anyone. Send over your collaboration ideas to rasmus@gmail.com, twitter.com/Rasmus. Maybe we can make some type of collaboration. Kenneth Cully at WTF_Dragon. WTF Dragon is also a member of the UDIC. He's a cool dude. He added me to a list. I got Ultima Forever shipped to me because of his adding me to the list of Ultima fans. He's a really nice guy. I believe he runs the Ultima Codex. All right, we have SWILKINS, S. Wilkins, at Scattered Tweets with a Z. Thank you for the support. We have S. Galteri Art at S. Galteri. Thank you for the support. We have Saturnian10 at John Relics. Thank you for the support. Eric Northman at _Refused. anyone who follows me on Twitter and clicks like on one of my tweets, thank you for the support. We have Jack Smith at Jack_Smith_Snow. Thank you for the support. James Weatherhill at Dead Lurk Harrow. Thank you for the support. So Wud I Miss at SWDIM Podcast. Thank you for the support. Shamus McKenzie at Cosmic Blast MDIA, Cosmic Blast Media. Thank you for the support. I don't know if I want to edit this. If there's mistakes, no big deal. No one cares, right? Darren Williams at Daz Alt Theory. Thank you for the support. Alan Grimace Marcus at Marcus86. Thank you for the support. Paul DeJager at DeJager Paul. Thank you for the support. Diane LaPierre at Diane LaPierre. Thank you for the support. Daniel Arola at Daniel_Arola. Thank you for the support. Westeros Will at Will of Westeros. Thank you for the support. Haley at Haley Rayleigh. Thank you for the support. We have some honorable mentions here. Honorable mentions. I'll just get to the main honorable mentions. Freethinker Silver. You've seen his YouTube channel. I'm going to collab with Freethinker Silver. Do his topics align with my topics? Not necessarily. But he's a supporter of the channel. And his topics do align sometimes. And we're going to collab, maybe do a podcast, do something like that, maybe a live stream. We will see. But Freethinker Silver, a great supporter of the channel. Young Dummy at The Wicked 7, I've already said his name, but he's a great supporter. Brandon Young at Brandon Young 82, a big supporter. I already mentioned the Patreon 13. Thank you for the Patreon 13. Honorable mentions. All right. Let's see what we got here. We got Willie J, the brother of 3Pac, at Zero Hoots TV. He follows me. Maybe he's going to unfollow me. Maybe some of you will unfollow me one day. No big deal. This video is going to stay. Don't worry about it. But Zero Hoots, I don't give too many hoots, son. And Willie J, the brother of 3Pac. 3Pac had a message. You know, 3Pac was comedian slash legitimate rapper slash comedian slash deep thinker slash all around cool dude. He made people laugh. Rest in peace. He left us too soon. Willie J continuing the legacy of 3Pac by spreading the message of Zero Hoots. Some might see it as a catchphrase, but Zero Hoots actually is a really strong and powerful mantra if you want to embrace it. Like the main message 3Pac left us concerning Zero Hoots, Willie J has talked about at length on his channel. If someone's harassing you, bothering you, give Zero Hoots. Let it slide off like water. It's no big deal. We're all one under the sun, son. And that's what it's all about. Ken Ami, honorable mention, at atheism_is_dead, for sending me his book to review. You know, I was kind of, I didn't give the best review, and it's not the best. But I tried to be brutally honest, and maybe I was too honest, all right? But 50 Shades of Grey Aliens is a pretty funny title. But it did open my eyes concerning shows like Ancient Aliens. I didn't know Ancient Aliens was ran by people with an agenda. It clearly is. But some people might consider that, I don't want to have my favorite show ruined. But let's face it, they're looking for a certain angle. All right. Paula Jedi at Micro Singular, for posting an article after I busted John Teeter's identity. She stood for the truth and stood up and said, hey, this guy proved that John Teeter is Maury Haber. If you haven't seen my documentary, Smoking Gun Proof, John Teeter is Maury Haber, or Maury Haber is John Teeter. Proved definitively, undisputed. I busted John Teeter, the original John Teeter's identity. No more words need to be said about it. It's a done deal. All right. Wes Locker, or Locher, or Locher. Locher. I'm going to mispronounce people's names. I apologize. But Wes, he put me in his book called Braving Britannia. It's a book where I beta tested a game. I told a story. He put me in there. Bam. So that was cool of him. The book's called Braving Britannia. It's on Amazon. Check it out. Wes Locher is WESLOCHER at, and Michael Suave at MPSAUVE for putting me in his book. Michael Suave putting me in his book, Who Authored the John Titor Legend. And I'm in that book, and I'm on page 121, 1.21 gigawatts. At a time without 1.121 gigawatts. Hey, now, I don't know without the music how to do that too well, but thank you. Check out that book. I mentioned in the book, I have a whole chapter dedicated to me. Pretty cool. Thank you, K. Thor Jensen, for putting me in your article, Entertainment, the Oral History of John Titor, the man who traveled back in time to save the internet. And K. Thor Jensen, he put me in the article. And not knowing too much about John Titor, understandably, he's a legitimate journalist. And he put me in the article, and I'm very thankful. He interviewed me and everything. So he spent a lot of time on it. And I was critical. I said, oh, you shouldn't have put that LinkedIn guy on there. There's a guy who plopped, I did it, on LinkedIn. And people took that guy as being serious when he was trolling. So someone that trolled with a fake resume on LinkedIn gets more credit for doing something when he had nothing to do with it. Just do your research a little bit more thoroughly. Gary Galka. Gary Galka. I don't know if it's Galka or Galka. I need to watch some Ghost Adventures episodes to correctly pronounce that. But at Gary, Galka, he's a cool dude. He invented the Mel meter after his daughter Melissa, rest in peace. The Mel meter is amazing. I'd say the #1 ghost investigation device you could possibly have, as long as it's the one with the antenna. The one without the antenna is cool too. And there's a new one that's thermal, and you can find cold spots that move around the device or whatever the case may be. Spirits are very elusive when it comes to a device. I'll tell you this. These ghost investigation devices are fairly brand new to mankind and humanity and the planet Earth. And if a ghost that's been hanging out for 10,000 years in some obscure corner, and let's say it's a landlocked spirit, stuck in a location to a certain extent for 10,000 years, and you're bringing a super modern futuristic device with an antenna on it with LED lights, it's not going to know what that device is, perhaps. When it sees you detect it, let's say that entity wanted to stay invisible and hidden for 10,000 years. The Mel meter can detect that entity, theoretically, when it walks close to it and it's in a certain phase of reality, whatever the case may be. We don't know how these entities work, but I think they can phase in and out of their dimension, enter our dimension, whatever the case. But they're no longer invisible with the Mel meter. And many a times, when I get a spike out of nowhere with no cell phones, no cell towers, no power lines anywhere, the spike will be like a one-off. You never get it again. You get like an 8.5. Whoa, 8.5. And then bam, you never get it ever again. Because the spirit is scared to be identified and revealed. The spirit's going to hang out 10 miles away, or whatever the border of its landlocked region, maybe 50 feet away. And the Mel meter's not going to detect 50 feet away. You have to be really close proximity. That's when you know it's a spirit. When you're not near any power lines, any wires, anything remotely like that. No cell phones, no cell towers. And you get a huge spike and you never get it again. It's because the spirit's scared that you got it the first time. So make sure you film that. Gary Galka creates some really cool ghost investigation equipment that works better than anything else. Some other honorable mentions. Earthquake Kelly. I've never met the guy, but he tells a very interesting story, how he left the world of voodoo. And his Twitter is at EQ Kelly, Earthquake Kelly, spelled K-E-L-L-E-Y. Check out his story on YouTube. Earthquake Kelly, he left the world of voodoo. He was raised into it, so he didn't choose it. He was raised into it. And he left it. He faced some interesting scenarios being tempted by spirits. And he tells a true story. His first-hand experiences are intense. Stephen Dollins at S_Dollins. Some people make fun of him. He's probably a meme in some places, but he's a cool dude. I'm not his particular denomination or sect of this and that, but he talks about how he's an ex-devil worshiper. People make fun of him that, oh, you're not even that, you liar. He probably joined 10 different devil worship groups, and they all have different beliefs. And he was from a particular area of the United States where they literally worship the devil, literally, not figuratively. It was literal, and worshiping and summoning demons, and literally worshiping these demons. Places like that do exist. Stephen Dollins experienced that firsthand. He left it. You know, his dad died. He was in a vulnerable place. That's why a lot of these people venture out into some strange paths, spiritually speaking. And he came back to talk about it. People mock him and make fun of him, but I personally believe his story was true. I tweeted him. He tweeted me back. Not too many people can say Stephen Dollins tweeted you back. So it was a very cool. I will share that tweet. It's Corners of Rooms related. I'll share that in a video. That tweet deserves an entire video. Master Yang Hua at Master Yang Hua. He's the guy that I mentioned in my documentary, the poltergeist demon. So I put Master Yang Hua at the end of my, I can't pronounce his name, I apologize. But I put him at the end because he mentioned demons, literally meeting demons or seeing them face to face, making eye contact with demons. He can actually see demons. So not everyone can, but he can. He's a very spiritual person. I'm not a member of his particular religion or sect, but I respect him to an extreme extent because he knows demons are real. He has had conversations with them or meditated, and they didn't bother him because they respected him to the point of him withstanding them. And we can withstand demons, and I don't know if they can respect us, but they can definitely back off and leave us alone. Whew. I need to have a chapter on that. Okay. But Master Yang Hua, very cool individual. One of my all-time heroes, Tommy Wiseau. He's a punchline to some people, and they make fun of him to an extreme degree. I mean, I'll even add Chubby Checker to this list. Tommy Wiseau, Chubby Checker. These are two artists. One is of music, one is of making movies. And Tommy Wiseau, against all odds, he's treated like trash, laughed at to his face, laughed at behind his back, and he has succeeded and overcome all those obstacles. Let's face it, on this YouTube channel, people laugh at me to my face, people laugh at me behind my back. So I pretty much feel like Tommy Wiseau pre-success right now. Tommy Wiseau pre-success. So that's why Tommy Wiseau is a hero to me. He was an underdog, he overcame it, he's triumphant, and he has the last laugh. He's laughing now. He's laughing with the people that laughed at him, and he's laughing at the people that said he couldn't do it. He did do it. He has achieved his dreams, and he will continue to skyrocket because he's a cool dude. And I said Chubby Checker. Chubby Checker's an inspiration too. There's a guy that pretty much turned Chubby Checker into a meme and makes fun of him on a mean level. Now, turning someone into a meme isn't automatically mean, but there's a mean way to do it. And I think this guy made fun of Chubby Checker to a mean degree. Chubby Checker's a human being. I went to chubbychecker.com. I ordered 4 different types of beef jerky, delicious beef jerky. I reviewed them. That video got a bunch of thumbs down. Nobody liked it. I spent like $50 on beef jerky and autographs I ordered from Chubby Checker because I support him. And the video gets a bunch of thumbs down, and I get no views. Chubby Checker, Tommy Wiseau, and that's pretty much the list. Thank you to Chubby Checker. Thank you to Tommy Wiseau. Thank you to Tommy Wiseau. And thank you to Chubby Checker. Very talented, amazing people. I'm not making fun of them. I'm legitimately fans of them. And I'm fans of you guys who support me to an extreme extent. If you follow me on Twitter, you will be in the next shout out video, as long as you like one of my tweets. And if I missed you, if you do follow me and I missed you, if I somehow missed you, send me a tweet. Say, hey, you missed me. I always like your tweets. Send me a tweet. You'll be on the next shout out video with a great apology. And if I mentioned you and you didn't want me to mention you, you want me to take you off the list, send me a tweet. So collaborations in the future, coming soon. I want to do a podcast. I want to actually, let's face it, I'm going to do a Harland Williams podcast where I'm interviewing myself. Now, I don't want to do that, but Harland does characters. He's an amazing stand-up comedian. Harland Williams is one of my favorite comedians of all time. He's a funny guy. He's very underrated. He's legitimately a very talented comedian. And he does a podcast. And he's done like 900 plus. He's done like 1,000 podcasts. He does it like 2 or 3 times a week. It's like, what? I don't know how he does stand-up tours and does 2 or 3 podcasts a week. That's intense. That is intense. He said it's a labor of love. The reason I want to do a podcast is because I could turn off the camera and it'd be a lot easier to edit, or zero editing. Zero editing and zero camera, just turn on a recorder and talk into it. Whatever the case, I have like 5 podcast recorders. I'm going to use my best microphone though. I'm just going to record it on my computer. And I will do some live streams. I will do some podcasts. Anyone on this list is invited to join the podcast, join the live streams. Just send me a tweet, send me an email if you want to get on that guest list. And, you know, there was someone that said on my last video that they did want to collaborate if it was an opportunity. Feel free to tweet me. Twitter.com/Rasmus. Email me, rasmus@gmail.com. Most definitely. I will collaborate with anyone. That particular individual, man, I can't remember the name. So I'm very, I totally bailed and I left out everyone that leaves comments on YouTube. The next list will be YouTube comments, but not necessarily the comments, just individuals and giving shout outs. If you have a really strong question and I have a really elaborate answer, maybe I'll make an entire video about it. We will see in the future, coming soon. Stay tuned, more episodes coming soon. This is just a shout out video, nothing else. This is it. Be seeing you.